Okay, what I'm making today is pork ribs. They're not baby backs, they're just spare ribs, or whatever you want to call them. But I've cut all the excess off, which is a lot, and peeled the back of them, got the silver skin or whatever off the back, so they'll be tender. And then I've just made my own rub, which consists of chili powder, cayenne, paprika, little onion powder, red pepper, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and brown sugar. Usually I just buy it at the store, but you can make it yourself. That's what I got. Got chili flakes in it and quite a bit of sugar. I like the sweetness on ribs. But I got another rack that I got to cut up, and then I will put some mustard on this for an adherent or whatever, so the rub will stick to it. And I'll get them ready and I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Okay, I got them all rubbed down. Now what I'm going to do is go start the smoker, and I'll stick these in the fridge and let them sweat out. You'll see it'll be darker when I come back, and then it'll put a little better bark on them. But I'll be back in a minute.
Eventually.
Okay, the ribs are on. They sweated out a little bit. See how it kind of bonded and stuck to it. Now it should get a good bark on it. Now I'm going to run it about 250 and probably a couple hours, maybe a little longer. It all depends. You don't want to get too much smoke in them. Then I'll come back and wrap them and show you how I do that.
2 hours later.
Okay, it's been about an hour and a half, and about every half hour I got grape juice here. Normally I use apple like usual, but I don't have any, so I can spray it, keep it nice and moist. That word nobody likes. That way it don't dry out. I'm thinking, well, probably another half hour maybe. It depends how much smoke you want to get in it. Once you wrap it, which I'm going to do, it'll start breaking down all the tissue and get tender anyway, but I'll probably go another half hour on the smoke. Smoking pretty good, so I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I'm going to make a sauce for the ribs that I'll probably glaze it with, and I'll have it at the end so I can squirt it right on the ribs, make them messy. I started out with about a half thing of this Baby Ray's. I like to add everything in the cupboard. Usually, for some reason, it just gives you good flavors. You have a little more heat in there, because that stuff's really sweet anyway. Not a lot, just enough for the thing. And I found molasses in there, so why not, right? It's almost empty, we might as well use it. I guess I ain't gonna get much of it, but some of that. Definitely mustard. A little ketchup. I don't leave enough room there to give it a mix, and that's a sauce. Now that I got all that mixed up good, I added a little brown sugar also. And I'm going to add some this grape juice to thin it out. No, probably the rest of it actually. Perfect. That'll thin it out a little so that it will cook onto the meat a little better at the end. But I'm almost ready to wrap. I'll be back in a minute.
Eventually.
Okay, it's got plenty of smoke on it, so I'm going to start getting this set up. I've got 2 layers of foil down here. First thing we're going to start with is make a nice little bed of brown sugar. That'll be right here in the center. Definitely like sweet ribs. Pretty much as long as it is, pretty close, somewhere in there. I ain't got the ribs off yet, but I will. And we want to go with some honey. And then I got this tiger sauce. It's kind of sweet with a little chili. It goes good with it. Plus it'll give us like a kind of our own sauce, and then I'll put a little more rub over that. And then you gotta have some butter. Well, not butter. You want to use margarine, because if you use too much there. If you use real butter, it'll burn. You'll end up with black ribs. Definitely got way too much over there, but I guess she'll melt. And now hold right there, Janelle, and I'll get the ribs and set them up one rack on there. Here's the ribs as they're. I've got enough smoke in them. I can see the color. So we'll take the meat side, slide that right in there. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. There's no sense in recording all that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put brown sugar, layer it just like that, wrap it up twice, and put it back on, and it'll probably be on there another hour and a half. Once the bones start pulling back, I'll pull it off and glaze it, but it's the idea anyway. I'll be back in a little bit. Here it is, getting ready to wrap. Now, figured I'd show you.
A few moments later.
What I'm making here to go with the ribs is potato salad. It's a pretty simple one. I got garlic powder, salt and pepper. I'll mix that in the potatoes first. And I got ham, that's that seriously sharp cheese, onions, eggs. And then I add Dijon mustard also with the mayo in mine. But sometimes I have other stuff in there, but that's what this one's going to be. I'll have a picture when it's done.
The next day.
Okay, so got this one off. I think it's just about done. The other one was smaller, which is right there. I'm going to baste it a few more times. This one we'll see what it looks like and we'll check. It should be around 205, 207 in between the bones. I like it so it falls apart. when they do it at the competitions, they don't do that. You're supposed to be able to bite through, but not completely fall off. So the thermometer's right there. See what we got here. I think it's pretty close because it's tender. Of course, this ain't an instant thing, so you gotta wait 10 years. Oh, 196. Try over here. That's tender, I bet that's higher. Yeah, 205, which is what I want. Right here is a little low. It's because it ain't perfectly flat. I'm gonna call it though, because I'm still gonna glaze it and cook it on here, and I got 203 there. So what we'll do now is I'm gonna save this Jew. I'm gonna try to get this ticked up. Set right there. And now that's already got some on it, so I poured the other one into this fat separator. I'm gonna do the same with this. And I'll baste them a bunch of times. I'm not sure if I'm going to put barbecue sauce. I don't think so. We'll let them go just a few more minutes so they get sticky, and then I'll probably I might boil this down so it gets a little thicker and use it for a baste. Alright, I'll be back.
A few moments later.
So I decided what I'm going to do this time is, we don't need all that fat, but the bottom here is some good stuff. I don't know if I was videoing, it'd help. A little more. That's enough. And instead of cooking it down, if you cooked it down, it would thicken up a little. I'm just going to add some of that sauce I made earlier. Which what I planned on doing was just squirting that on your rib if you want it, because it's good stuff anyway. But so ain't this stuff, because it's got that little bit of heat and a lot of sweet in there. Delicious, really. That'll make a pretty good glaze. I'll let this go 10-15 minutes, and I'll keep hitting them a couple times. I'll be back.
3 hours later.
Okay, I put one round of glaze on. I'm going to do one more. This stuff goes on there nice. Build the flavors and the layers. That back one is done a little more because it was smaller. Kind of sucks, but it'll still be good. This end will probably be a little dry, but I don't want to ruin the rest of these few ribs over here that are fat, so. And I'm going to sprinkle a little more of the rub over that. There we have it. I'm thinking 15 minutes and I'll pull them. Okay, so here it is. A little smoke ring there. I guess I could have went a little longer, but it'll still have the flavors. I got Miss Dirty Birdie here. She's gonna test run it before we feast. Try it with regular and then with this sauce that I made, just see if it kicks it up. Go for it. Look tender.
Mm-hmm.
You got the full effect?
Mm-hmm.
Ready for round two?
Yeah. It's good.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet or spicy, or what are you getting? Probably a little bit of everything, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, very hot, very hot. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I would say it falls off the bone. I guess I should let it cool down a little bit.
It's good though.
Which way you like better?
With the sauce.
With it? Yeah. I figured. Well, there it is. Have a good one.